Good afternoon, fellow preppers, and welcome back to another episode of Easy Prepping with your old Uncle Carl here. I got I think about 20 items here that I drug out of one of my prepper bins, so I can show you what I have and recommend what you might want to consider putting in yours. Some things you've probably already thought of and have, and others you might not have. But before we start on that, a word about the frustrations with YouTube. I'm looking at another venue called Rumble. And I'm still checking into the options that they have. As best I've been able to tell so far, there's 3 different ways of doing it. The first one is you post your video to Rumble and they get exclusive rights to it. They post it wherever they want, wherever they think it'll make money. And you can't post on YouTube. You can't post your videos anywhere else. But that's the highest percentage of money they pay back. And although I didn't start this to be in the money, a few dollars would be nice. The second option, which my research has shown me they have, is that you can post your videos to Rumble and they get exclusive rights to post everywhere else on the network except YouTube. You can still post your videos on YouTube and then post to Rumble as well. It's just they pay out a lower percentage, which is fine with me. That's the one I'm leaning toward. So, wanted to give you an update on that before we get started on the real serious prepper business here. Well, I've got about 20 items here I brought up from one of my prepper bins that I thought to show you, maybe give you ideas of what you might want to add to your prepper bins. And I haven't got these really categorized. I have done other videos on categorizing things like water, which I'll probably do another video on. That's a very important subject. But these are just a splattering out there of things that you might want to consider putting in your prepper bins if you don't already have a bunch. So let's get started. Gloves. Good work gloves. Here I've got thick leather pair, extra large because that's what I wear. It's also, somebody with a smaller hand could still wear them. If you've got medium or large gloves, well, they'd be worthless to somebody with large hands, where somebody with small hands could still wear these. That's enough on that topic. Anyway, as far as we're talking about gloves, here's a massive pack of them I put in there. I don't plan on running out of gloves. And these are ones that are 12 pair textured latex coated gripping gloves. So you're going to want to protect your hands in a SHTF scenario. Next, I brought up a few of the candles that I had down there. I don't think I may have shown these before in any video. This one is a 36-hour survival candle. This would be a real good addition to, say, your fallout shelter. Very portable, but yet I doubt if it lasts a full 36 hours, but it gets you through the fallout situation. The next type we have is this little lantern. I believe in another video I showed you the big version holds 3 of these candles, and you could actually warm up food or water on top of it. This is the 1 candle version of it, more made for, say, your bug out bag or if you're a camper, that kind of thing. Anyway, supposedly 9-hour candle in that. And then we have extra candles for it. Have a backup. 2 is 1, 1 is none. And to go along with the fire situation there, fire starter logs. A small box of them, just to keep in your prepper bin, could be really handy. Getting a fire going, cooking over them. Next, those candles aren't going to do you much good without a way to light them. Here we have a watertight container with, I don't think these are the waterproof matches, but they are the ones with the red with a white tip, strike anywhere type. But inside there is the striking pad. So you've got your water matches that will stay dry, waterproof, even an O-ring on that. And after that, the same concept, watertight container, but these are the burn wet, burn windy, it doesn't matter, they'll burn. That's the way they're advertised. And it has a striker on the side of the container. Good thing to have in your prepper bin for that, just in case we really do have an SHTF. A few more items here that don't really fit into a particular category, except, well, tape. This is a roll I had up here already, electrical tape. But if you don't have duct tape in your stockpile, that's one of the best ones to have. Electrical tape is good. It's rubber. You can actually make a seal with it. And beyond that, you might want some of the silver tape that's used, guys installing furnaces use it to seal duct work. And you could also seal your EMP containers with that silver tape. It will conduct electricity. I know, I tested it with a voltometer. Then we have, I think the wife got me this a few years ago for Christmas. It's four different types of, well, there's a description thing in here, but it's going to be awkward getting out. Anyway, there are 4 of these hand cream things, but one of them is that's a lip balm. The next one it's a hand cream that stops bleeding. And then we have water blocker, a hand cream that's a water blocker. And the 4th one here is a bite-free, supposed to repel mosquitoes, insects. See if I can get the genie back in the bottle here. Come on, get in there. You can do it. Anyway, I like that container. It even after I use the lip balm and the contents, I bet I can find a good purpose for that. And then, well, just lip balm. Have some of that available for SHTF. You don't know what your weather conditions might be, dry. Have some lip balm handy. Next we have some seed vaults. Open seed vault. Anyway, they are packed to last a long time on the shelf. This one's 32 varieties of seeds. And of course we're talking vegetable stuff you can eat. Where this one is bigger, so it has more seeds, but only 18 varieties. I have several different seed vaults down there beyond these, but pretty much essential to have in your SHTF. Get those out of the way. And next, something you may not think of putting in your prepper containers: clothespins, wood ones. I don't know if you remember. I remember my grandmother and my mom putting clothes up on a clothesline to dry. Well, these can clip things together. So, and not very expensive. Have a pack of those in your prepper bin. And next, I think I've mentioned this before, another one, but this is just so important. You might have shelves and shelves of canned food, but how are you going to open them? A manual can opener. Very important. Next, we have a pretty important item that actually takes up very little space. Like a lot of you will probably recognize this. Emergency thermal blanket. And it's that big. Ought to have you a few of these. I think I've got 2 packs of 10 of them down there. Next, emergency whistle. Extreme survival whistle, they call this one. I believe it even has a compass in the side. And let's see, extreme whistle, magnetic compass, and Fahrenheit thermometer. You don't need one really that fancy, but have you a good whistle. You can get attention if you need it. You're in an emergency situation. Next, extra bootlaces. You're going to be doing some work, maybe a lot of walking. Extra bootlaces could be very important. You don't know if you break a shoelace, how to get around then. And the same thing about having to do a whole lot of walking, gardening, working. Airfoil insoles. I have these in my prepper bin to hopefully help protect my feet in the off chance of an SHTF, and I'm having to do a lot more walking than normal. And the last item I have up for us here today, cordage, specifically 550 paracord. Actually, I have rolls of this in the basement hanging on a long tube that are 500,000 feet. These are shorter ones. I think these are 100 feet that I have in just in the prepper bin before I started getting the bigger ones. Also, paracord. I have it in different colors. This one I would not want to use at night, especially this one, as a trip line, but I do have some that's black and dark gray down there for that purpose. But you don't know how many uses you might have and need cordage. Shoelaces. First that comes to mind sitting here is that for water. I have a place on my deck that's open to the sky, and I would plan on putting up a tarp to act like a giant funnel, collect rainwater. It's a way to tie it in place. And lastly, to close out this video, I'd like to remind you of the prepper rule of threes. You can go 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Those are maximum, worst case scenario. Like, you don't want to go 3 days without water. So today's quote is, some people are making such thorough preparation for rainy days that they aren't enjoying the sunshine of today. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about there, it's some of the extreme prepper channels out here on YouTube that they get into go buy a case of beans or you're going to die tomorrow kind of sensationalism, which I try not to do. I think the most I did was on that firearms video, and I did get some comments that I overdid it with the thumbnail saying, get them now before they're banned. Well, it's kind of my opinion that there are some in our government that if they had their way, they would confiscate every firearm, all the way down to your kid's BB gun. And that's the reason for that thumbnail. But thanks for watching.